What is up, YouTube? What is going on, everybody? Check, 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 testing, check, checking the mic, checking the sound. Yeah, you're good. We're back. We are back. We're back. Let's get ready. Let's get going. Okay. As always, I hope your family, friends, and lovers are doing well today on this August 2nd, 2026. As we are back with another live stream. Hope you all have had a safe and humbling weekend so far. Went to the movies to see that Spider-Man. Loved it a lot. Pretty much give it a 9 out of 10 for my own viewership. Really enjoyed that movie and can't wait to watch it over and over again. But that's just me. There's some criticism all around as far as the flick from fans just in general, but all in all, really good movie to me. Highly recommend. It's already broken records already. It made over 168 million. It's either the opening day or by yesterday. I want to say opening day, Friday, so or whichever, Thursday, Friday, whatever. So yeah, definitely go check the movie out. But if you're new, if you're watching, click that link that I just shared. Join us over here on WAP.com at Talk Sports Debate. Get access to all of our plays, from the cappers, from our leader Lando, his plays, Bobby the Round Robin King, his plays, and my brother Kukizi, his plays. And then, like I said, you get access to my free plays and paid plays. Join us and catch with us. As far as yesterday's keynotes and stuff, I want to say I believe I went like 11 and 12 and 7 or something like that. As far as everything that I put on paper, as far as breaking down yesterday's games, which I'm going to do again today after the stream. But I technically only went 2 and 5 from yesterday. My only 2 wins was Ashcraft pitches under. I took that 5.5 under. He finished with 5, and then the Padres money line, so that cashed for me. Everything else that I put in first fives and stuff like that did not work out, and that's okay. That's the first day of August. Today is the hope is that we'll bounce back and get more wins than losses, and maybe sweep the board, but we'll see. So there's several games here, and I believe there's well, maybe hold on, there might be one game potential, like this game, the Cardinals and Blue Jays, which I just literally put another pick in for and shared it in WAP in our Discord. This game, originally I was thinking like, oh, it's going to potentially get delayed, postponed, but they have a roof, so they're probably possibly going to close that roof, just because there's probably going to be a bunch of rain coming their way. This game might get delayed and postponed because it's supposed to be raining heavy in Cleveland. It is raining and storming here in Pittsburgh. There was a set of rain and thunderstorms within the last hour and a half, and it's supposed to be running through the entire day. So luckily enough, my Pirates are on the road against Cincinnati, and there's a little bit of precipitation, so I'm thinking that this game will be fine. But I do have a main pick for that one. But outside of that, as you see here, everything else, maybe the O's and my O's over in Baltimore, maybe potential delay as well. But outside of that, as you see here, everything else seems to be fairly okay. I'm guessing the Atlanta game will go. That's 90%, very low. So with that, let's get ready to break down these games, see what else we can find. My main picks currently. First up was, what was it again? I'm taking the Mets to go under their team runs in the first 5. This is my first read, very first read that I put in. Excuse me. Again, it's team runs, not. And if you feel like the first 5 under could cash, take it. But I took them to go under 3 runs. As you see here in the last 10, it's pretty much the same as yesterday. One of the picks from yesterday. It was more so due to forgot the team that I took, but they got 3 runs. Seattle, because they were facing off against a specific pitcher that throughout the last 10 games against that lefty arm, they struggled to score 3 runs, and they got 3 on the nose early, like I think the first 2 innings. So it was just a random spot where they were able to do it. The hope is that the Mets don't, right? Because Alcantara's pitching, when he pitches specifically, it's pertaining to his earned runs. He's technically like every other game allowing earned runs, but on the road, he more recently has been shutting down teams from getting the 3. The hope is that the Mets don't do so. We will see if they don't, right? My hope is that they don't. And going back to the breakdown, because they have not been producing runs, and at home, same thing, right? They've been knocking on a door here and there, and then head to head, same thing. On the year, they just struggle to get runs. They got it here at home, but again, I'm believing that Sandy will shut them down. Like, he might give up 2 runs. I really wanted to take the push for them to go under, for them to finalize at 2. But I said, you know what? Just in case Sandy randomly gives up 2, if you feel like they can, if you feel like Sandy will shut them down under 2, take this at plus value. If you don't have the score bet up, there's DraftKings -120. If you have Hard Rock, same thing, -120. But again, that's if you believe Sandy will indeed shut them down. Again, he specifically was pertaining to the earned runs. He has shut down a few teams in the last 10 to going under the 2, but I prefer taking the more safer spot at the 3. So that's what I did. So that's that look. Next up, full game under Pirates. My Buccos were on the road against Cincinnati. Once again, this should be the final game of the series. The under has cashed 3 of the last 4 in this series. Against Cincy, just in general, the under has cashed 6%. On the road against Cincinnati, just in general, the under has cashed 6%. But 3-3 on the season, though. But the hope is that with Chase Burns on the mound, we also have Mitch Keller on the mound. The question becomes, is Mitch going to give up? Because I personally believe Chase is possibly going to potentially shut us down today. As far as our runs are concerned, we'll see. We did win 4-1, if I remember correctly from yesterday. Right, we won 4-1. So we're 1-2 in the series. The question becomes, can we close the series out and go 2-2 on the series, or does Cincy go 3-1 against us? So when Mitch Keller pitches, just in general, when it's pertaining to him on the spot on the road, as you see here, we're usually for the most part scoring runs. But when Chase Burns is pitching at home, he's only allowed 1, 2, 3, 4 teams to get 4 runs or higher. The question becomes again, can we read his pitches to do anything? But again, I personally feel like the under will cash. We'll see what happens though. And even I believe in the history against Cincy, the under has cashed on Sundays. So let's look at Mitch again on the road, 60% to the over when he's pitched, and then Chase Burns when he's pitching at home, 6% to the over. So I'm taking it. This is like, I want to say this is my one, or at least one of my riskier bets. I just kind of feel like, the under can cash, but we'll see what Mitch does against Cincinnati, because I really kind of believe that I could see Cincy scoring maybe more than 4 runs, but I'm just not sure if we specifically can score any runs against Chase Burns, but we'll see. But I decided to just go with the risk. I said, screw it, I'm gonna take the risk once again, see if the under cashes. And the other one, this is pick number 3 that I decided to go with. And what is it again? I forgot the top of my head. Oh, where are y'all? Angels. Another fade in the first 5. I'm going Angels under 2 runs because Mizorowski is pitching. When he pitches, when it's pertaining to earned runs, he too is not allowing in the last 10 a bunch of runs just in general last 10. Same thing in the last 5. No head-to-head matchup. The Angels themselves have in the last 10 games themselves, they let's see, they have pretty much scored, gotten runs, and at home, same thing in the last 5. But again, like I said, I'm personally believing that this will hit, you know what I'm saying, once again back to back, because Mizorowski's pitching, because again, he doesn't allow too many runs when he pitches. We got to do this again. I don't know what's going on with Outlier today. I think it did it yesterday too. Where are you? Where's the game again? Like I said, Mizorowski, when he pitches, earned runs, showing it again. He doesn't allow that many earned runs. I really wanted to take, I actually did want to take them to get 1 run, but that's more of a push. But if you feel like Angels only score 1 run, literally plus value, Hard Rock, you know what I'm saying? If you feel like they'll just get, you know, or no run, excuse me, take it. But I personally believe they'll only get 2 runs or less. So that's my 3rd pick. And then the final pick, because this game has a roof, like I said, it's supposed to rain here in Toronto, but the roof hopefully will close up. I'm going to go on ahead and take, now I may take an extra bet. This is me saying it live, but I'm going first 5 for the over for the Blue Jays to score 3 runs. I got it at a plus 110 over on Fanatics, so it actually bumped. It moved down because more than likely I took it. Maybe somebody else did. But as you see here, only 3 times in the last 10 they've scored 3 runs. At home, just in the last 10, they've struggled several games on the streak. But I'm banking on Libertar, who is slated to pitch. Hopefully he does. As you see here, in the last 10, he's given up, averaging 5 runs in the last 10, 5 runs in the last 5. And then on the road, same thing, 6 runs in the last 10, 5 runs in the last 5. The hope is that he will also allow the Blue Jays to get 3 runs today. If you feel like taking, apologies, I was looking at the wrong thing. Here it is. There it is. All right. So Mizorowski last 10 at on the road, he's averaging 3 runs in the last 10, 4 runs in the last 5. So if you feel like even potentially, because I might take this, I was really thinking potential spot where Libertar gives up the 3 runs in the first 5. This is plus value, plus 108. I might take this here as well, just as a side pick, unofficial pick, just because I really believe that he'll give up, that Toronto will get the 3 runs while he's on the mound. Highly recommend that you, if you feel like he'll do it, because again, he's been doing it in the last 10 and the last 5, take him to actually do it. He did allow 5 runs, when he last pitched against them last year on June 11th. He allowed 5 runs, where that was the only amount of runs that they scored against St. Louis in that game on the road, and they won 5-2. So kind of believing the Blue Jays have a potential chance to close out this series and win 3-1. But the question becomes, with Scherzer on the mound, is St. Louis going to be able to possibly get some runs? Because he more recently in the last 5 has allowed 8, 7, and 5 when he's on the mound. It's just that for St. Louis, they personally, same thing as the Blue Jays, they too have struggled to score any runs in the last 10. Look at this. They've been not even getting, you know what I'm saying? even gone under 2 runs in the last 10, 5-0 in the last 5, because I really thought potentially taking their under. But again, Scherzer more recently has been allowing, there it goes again, I don't know why it's doing this. I personally kind of think that St. Louis might find a way to score against Scherzer, but who knows? St. Louis might not score anything, but the question becomes, is this game possibly potentially first 5 over, potential full game over, or just, Blue Jays win it? Because on paper, this is on paper, Blue Jays look like the better spot, because again, Liberatore is on the mound. I could see, Blue Jays getting 4 runs, 5 runs in the first 5. And then maybe when the bullpen comes in for St. Louis, they get an extra 1 or 2 and they cover the run line, win, all of that, because they've covered the run line back to back. I'm just curious about what St. Louis, because a lot of times we don't see too many teams in the MLB sweeping, right? It's very rare that teams sweep, that I've seen over the course of this year, last year, the year prior, when I've really been paying attention to the league. So it is still hard to really say if a team's gonna sweep. Blue Jays are on paper in a spot that they could, so we'll see if they actually do so. So those are my 4 picks. Technically, the first 2 that I talked about are like my main reads, but then I added the other two, so that's 4 in total for me as my main picks in total today for this second day of August. Let's dive into the rest of the slate here. My O's once again lost. Like we beat we beat Philly 2 days ago, but then we lost. So we're 1-1 in the series. We didn't score any runs. I really, on paper, felt like we could have potentially scored 2 runs in the first 5. That was one of my main reads. It didn't go. So that was like my second pick that went, 0-2 at the time, before I, later got the Padres money line, like I talked about in the stream. And of course, Ashcraft's pitches under. So those are my 2 wins. On paper, Wheeler, I feel like Wheeler should bounce back. He's slated to start today. He's 10-2 on the year, while Bradish, he's 7-9. I'm thinking Philly could win today. I mean, on paper, they're, the better team when it's pertaining to the pitching matchup. They got Wheeler out there today. I feel like Wheeler would bounce back. I feel like Wheeler could possibly get 8 strikeouts today. It is -1. Well, actually, he has 111 on FanDuel, 115 DraftKings, and whatever else moving forward. No head-to-head against us, so it's his first time facing off against us this year. He is averaging 8 strikeouts in the last 10 strikeouts in the last 5, on the season 7. So it's just these more recent games, he's been like destroying teams. I don't see him not getting the 8. It's just, I'm curious though, because you never know. Like I mentioned with the other game, it's Sunday. Sundays are weird. Overs hit sometimes, unders hit sometimes. So we really don't know what's really going to happen. Again, on paper, the Phillies are better, while we only have 3 batters who are positive versus righty pitchers. The question becomes, do any of my O's players come through today? Of course, you got Pete and Gunnar, and then Zach. He only really struggles with the ISO against righty batters, but he's giving up home run to fly ball percentage and hard hit to lefties. So we do have a few. We have Gunnar, Cowser, Tarvez, and Jackson Holiday, and Dylan Beavers. So we have a few lefties here that could potentially possibly get a run or 2 off of Zach. But the question becomes, is he even going to allow anything? Again, he allowed 5. That's what I'm saying. I kind of feel like he'll bounce back and maybe allow 2 runs against us today. So I would say maybe you do take Zach on his strikeouts. It's 8. It's, like I said, 111 on FanDuel, 115 and everything else. Maybe you do consider taking Zach on his strikeouts today. I feel like he'll bounce back because he finished with 6 the last start. And we'll see. Now, as far as the run line, as you see here, we've covered most of the last 10, while Philly only covered last game more recently. They're only 1-4 to covering. We've covered a +1.5 the last time that we, well, actually no, we didn't cover the +1.5. Philly did. But let me see. So when Cam is pitching, just in general, in the month, he's 4-0 to covering. At home, just in general, 60% hit rate, 1-0 on the month. Wheeler, he specifically 2-3 in the last 5. He's 2-1 to covering the -1.5 on the year. Also 2-1 ATS. So I'm just kind of wondering if, like I said, if we don't get any runs in the first 5 when Wheeler's on, like maybe we get 2, maybe 1, do we get any others? Because I'm thinking, you know, Bradish could potentially give up a bunch of runs, because as you see here, he's given up even, let me break it down here, for the first 5 when he's on the mound. So if you decided to even like take the over, like say Philly gets a bunch of runs with Reddish on the mound, he's giving up 2 games in the last 5. Prior to that, nothing. I'm just wondering if anything, if he can specifically, because Philly does strike out a bunch, if you feel like he'll get these 5 strikeouts, maybe 6. It is a push though. He hasn't done 6 since last, well, technically 2 months ago. His is a -106. -106 do cash, but you got to hope that you're in the right spot. It's just that I'm just curious and wondering if he's going to once again give up 3 to 5 runs in his first 5 against Philly. I'm wondering, because he's done it 2 in the last 5 games. I'm just curious, but just in general, in the last several games, he's only done it twice. So I would say maybe you do lean towards Philly on the money line, but then maybe you say potentially, possibly even fade my O's on our runs. We've cashed 3 of the last 5. Same thing with the under 1. Let's see, head to head, we had 2 here, none yesterday. Just in general, last 5, we're averaging 2. So that's what I'm saying. If you feel like taking that, I would consider taking that. As far as the full game, battery wise, you got Bryce, you got Treya. Honestly, on paper, because Kyle struggles more so against righty batters as far as the batting average is concerned, I would consider Treya. He's a righty. I know he hit 2 home runs in the last 5. Maybe you do take him for a home run today. +537 currently, so it's probably a +550 hours ago. He just might show up. If anything, I would take him for total base and HRR, because at least he'll produce that if he doesn't hit a home run. He's produced total bases much better than HRR, just being honest, when I look at the data here in the last 5. Now, head-to-head wise, he's 2-0, 6-2. Same thing, 6-3. So if you feel like he'll get 3 total bases, take it as +234. He has no data against Kyle. He hits righty pitchers. He just struggles against the slider and the sinker. So maybe even just gets 2 total bases, and they got him at +115. And he's hitting in the month with 2 hits currently, struggling on the road, a little bit of struggle during the day. He struggles on Sundays currently, but he's batting really well against righties. So I would say Treya, 2 total bases for a player prop. Let me look at Brandon Marsh. He's 0-2 against Kyle currently, but he bats really well against righties. His slugging is up against righties. He has 13 home runs against righties. He hits the curveball. He's hitting the 4-seam. So you have a chance of potentially possibly seeing Brandon getting a bunch of total bases in HRR today. Maybe possibly. He's batting really great on Sundays and versus righties. And he bats well during the day. And technically, he's like 1 or 2 points off from this being green. So yeah, I would look towards Brandon for 2 total base. +148 though. It's super high. That's great value though. And then maybe, what is this? A +100, -105. Let me see what this would be. -104 on DraftKings. That's the best value for him to get 2 HRR. I would look towards Brandon for the HRR. That's great value. Maybe you parlay Treya Turner for total base, Brandon for the HRR. That's literally, that has to be plus 300. Let's see what that is. Plus 320. I would parlay that, and I just might take that. But as far as my O's are concerned, I just don't know. Yo, what's going on, G-Man? What's going on, dude? Hope you're doing well today. Pete, on paper, he technically is the best batter on the board. Jackson, best batter on the board. Maybe Jeremy, 245 batting average versus righties. Maybe, like I said, Tavares here. Maybe even Ward. But again, we're talking about Zach Wheeler. Kind of on paper, look at Jackson. Look what he's doing against four-seam splitter and the cutter. Like, he might be able to get on base. Maybe you take Jackson for a single. He might be able to get a single. It's a plus 131. That's great value. He might be able to get a single today. Oh, real quick, because it's super early. Let me. Well, then again, it may not happen, but I'm bringing this up now because I don't want to forget. He didn't get it yesterday, so his streak is starting over. Your boy couldn't get a single. Remember I talked about this. Prior to yesterday, Nick Gonzalez was on a super long streak. It was 10 plus games. He had a streak of getting a single or more. I felt like he couldn't get it yesterday, and he did not. He has one single against Chase. He may not get it tonight, so maybe you wait until the next series, which we play, because I'm probably going to take Nick Gonzalez for a single in the next series. But again, I got to know who's pitching. So we're going to be facing off against our rival here, the Brewers, at Milwaukee, starting tomorrow. 4-game series. I got to see who's pitching in that first game tomorrow. If it looks like somebody's decent enough, I will probably more than likely take Nick Gonzalez for a single. So I just want to put that out there for y'all real quick. So Chase, I would say chase his singles for, this week and into the weekend, next weekend. So there's that. So yeah, this game, possible potential under. It is 8, but we'll see. But that's pretty much my O's. Washington versus Atlanta. I did talk about Atlanta winning yesterday. I brought that up in my breakdown here from yesterday. I was right on the money with that. Atlanta won yesterday. So the question becomes, do they do it again? Because Cavalli's pitching today for the Nationals. Yeah, I'm from PA. Yep. Born and raised, son. Born and raised. The Nationals, with Cavalli on the mound, maybe you look towards his strikeouts. It's just that Atlanta doesn't strike out that often. But you never know. Head to head, he had 10 here against them when he pitched against them, and they won 7-2. But again, that was back in April. It's a whole new month, fresh start for everybody, right? Which includes your bankroll, your, if you're doing your, your record stuff and all of that cheese, right? I kind of stopped doing records and stuff, but look at the last 5, 3-2, last 10, 50%. He's been cashing on getting multiple strikeouts. Can he do what he did against Atlanta back in April? That's my question. Can he do this? Actually, apologize. That was at home. I apologize. When they played at home. Let's look at him on the road again. 3 straight, 8 or higher. Now, you can look at this and say, all right, maybe you do take him for the strikeout because it's dipping down. So maybe he had 13 here, then 9, then 8. Maybe he gets 6 in the first 5. Maybe he'll at least get 6 plus value is a plus 134. So I would lean more towards him getting 5 because it's the more comfortable spot, and then we'll see what happens from there. You from Philly? Nice. You're next door. I've never been to Philly. Hopefully I can get over there one day. So it's a minus 158 juice. But if he gets the 5 and you didn't take it, you missed out on the win. Oh, that's right. I think Atlanta's putting out is it a rookie? Wait a second. What the heck is? Oh, they don't have they still have yet to announce their starting pitcher. That's what that is. And technically, Cavale is pretty much a rumor to start. That's that's the name they put on here. It's a Sunday. He may not even play. So for this game, I need to know who's pitching in the first 5 to really break down the full game. But if you think potential over, because the books believe it's going to go over, maybe you do. Cavale, just in general, 60% hit rate. 2 and 3 in the last 5, though. Now, head-to-head matchup wise, it's 2 and 3. Excuse me, 3 and 3 in the head-to-head this year. Actually, no, I apologize. What am I talking about? 5, 6, so 7 and 3 to the over. So maybe the over does cash today. It went over yesterday, and then, like I said, Atlanta won. So possible potential bounce back, but I need to know who's pitching for the Braves. But possible potential bounce back for the Nationals. So that's what I'll go with that. As far as the game is concerned, we still need to know who's pitching for the Braves. But when it's pertaining to the Braves themselves, Michael Harris didn't do anything yesterday. Maybe he bounces back today. He has allowed more home runs against lefties. So, of course, you got Matt. I know Matt went yesterday. So that's 3 home runs in the last 5 back-to-back days. Maybe Drake and then maybe Dominic. So if I were y'all, maybe potential Braves team runs. Let's see if it's at 4. So it's juiced at 4, but it's a comfortable spot. They've gone 3 straight with 5. This is plus value, plus 105. Again, they're counting on Cavale striking them out. So they're counting on him to shut them down. That's why it's plus value. But I would potentially maybe look their way. As you see here, history-wise, averaging 6 runs against the Nationals here just in general. And on the year, if you really break it down, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3 to getting 5 runs or higher against the Washington Nationals. So if I were y'all, I would take them at 4, the juice one, and then ladder it up to 5. Safe bet. If you feel like they'll get 6, take it for 6. Plus 170. They're still cashing. Not that much in the last 10 games, or let alone the last 5. But they did do it back to back in the series, right? So they're 2 and 1 to getting 6 runs. But the more comfortable spot, of course, is 4 and 5. So that's what I would do personally. But we'll see. I might add that as an extra bet. But again, like I said, I need to know what Atlanta's throwing out there on the mound for the first 5 pitches. Maybe it's a bullpen day too. You just never know. I already broke down what I talked about for the Jays and the Cardinals. Again, on paper, Blue Jays money line is the best bet. But again, I'm wondering if Scherzer's going to give up any runs against St. Louis, and maybe the over cashes. Maybe that's the thing. So the Rays and White Sox. The Rays won 1-0. I talked about this. What did you say, G-Man? You said Jay Ritchie pitching, bro. Oh, he's okay. All right. Let me look at that. Thanks. Let me look at that. He's not showing up. Oh, there he goes. Okay. So I can't find his data, but I can look it up on here on my phone. Where is the game? I was just on the game and I backed out. Give me a second. I want to see. So Richie, just general last 5, he pretty much, he's really only averaging roughly 3 innings pitched in the last 5. He only gave up 3 runs against San Diego on the 21st of July, which was technically like a week ago. But he had 4 Ks that game. The only other game where he had 4 Ks in the last 5 was against the Mets on July 4th on the holiday. He allowed 3 hits that day, no runs. In between that, only 2 runs in total, just in general, outside of the 21st and the 4th. Prior to that, though, prior to the 4th, June 23rd, 7 Ks against San Diego. At San Diego, 4 earned runs, 5 hits. The game before that on June 17th against San Fran at home, 4 Ks, 5 earned runs, 5 hits. So it's a potential spot for him to possibly get lit up by the Nationals. As you see here, CJ Wood and Luis are the best batters on the board. and of course Andres, but that's if he plays. Outside of that, you may consider Dylan because his batting average is 252, maybe Jose 239. But again, the question becomes, because he struggles against lefties, can the Nationals give up, get runs against him in the first five if he even pitches the full five? Like I said, per what I've seen here, he's only roughly averaging 3 innings a game. So we'll see. So like I mentioned yesterday, once again during my breakdown, I talked about the Rays winning, and they won. I did mention that money line was the best bet for the game. They won 1-0. The under cashed. Now, K is on the mound, Jax is on the mound. As far as the over under, 1-4 to the excuse me. Yeah, 1-4 to the over in the last 5 for him. Same thing, 1-4. So the under is cashed more. Excuse me, the under is cashed more. But when he's pitching on the road, 3-2 in the last 5, 50% in the last 10. Jax, when you're pitching at home, 70% hit rate in the last 10, 80% hit rate to the last 5 to the under. But as always, I got to break down the first 5, because that's where they're potentially either gonna really work their magic. So when K's pitching just in general on the road, 60% to the over, 80% to the over. And then when Jax is pitching at home, 3 straight unders, but 3-2, and then 60% to the under. So it's potential possible coin flip. Maybe Jax can shut down the White Sox today, maybe, but at the same time, he did allow these 5 teams to at least get 2 runs, and then New York to get 3. K, he allowed last 5, 1, 2, 3 teams to get 3 runs, 4 teams to get 2. So maybe you do consider the first 5 over. It's plus value, plus 130, 125, plus 120. If you feel like just taking the 4, simple spot, Caesars plus 100, BetMGM minus 105. That one's cashing at a safer spot, 6% for him, but it's going under for him in the last 5 games, 1-4 to the under. So I'm just curious. I'm wondering which way this is going to go. Just being honest. Lefty. Let me look at his earned runs. Let me look at K. K is the same thing. Not that many earned runs. Same thing. They both have the same, like 4.5, 4.7. That's wild. Okay, never mind. His Ks are better. So Jackson has been getting Ks. This is earned runs. He's been shutting them down. Okay. It's super juice plus value for 7. Now, Chicago's striking out a bunch. Then let me look at K. They are not. Tampa Bay is not. So Tampa on paper technically is the best on the board. Their money line is a minus 150 on FanDuel. I would recommend potentially taking that. Again, the question becomes, because they, in the head-to-head matchup here, they went 1-1. Could Chicago still get 3-4 runs in this game in total in what is possibly the final game of the series? Because I'm really not sure if they play on Monday. I'm just kind of curious. Because again, on paper, Jax, more recently, he's been pretty much getting 5 or higher. They got him super juiced. Books believe he's going to get 7. Excuse me, there it goes. 5.5 is juiced at a 156. 3-2 in the last 5. What about at home? 3-2, but he's actually, that's why they got him at 7, because he's produced 10, or technically 7, 3 of the last 5, 10 2 times this year. And again, like I said, White Sox, they struggle just in general with striking out. So I like the 6 strikeouts. If you feel like he'll get the outs, maybe you take him on the outs. It is minus 110 on Fanatics. Let me see. Any head-to-head? No head-to-head. This was last year. Literally, honestly thinking strikeouts is the best spot for you. So on paper, Tampa is looking once again the better team on the board. Four batters just in general for the squad, positive against righties, and then you have 5 batters, all 5 straight down the line, positive against lefty pitchers. He struggles against righties, and they have 4 here, 5, 6, 7 batters versus who can hit versus him because he's given up 12 home runs. He's struggling mostly against righty batters. Jackson's struggling more against lefties, but he struggles a little bit more against righties when it's pertaining to the hard hit, but he's given up home run to fly ball against lefties. So if you think like maybe Murakami would go, Colson would go, take them. They're plus 364, plus 430. Maybe Andrew will go. He's a better value. The best value on the board lefty wise is Sam plus 930. Second best is Benintendi, but he's only gone once in the last 10. He has 1 home run against Griffin, but again, that's 14 at-bats that he faced off against him. He's still positive. He's only struck out once, so that's a positive. So maybe you just look towards Andrew for total base and HRR. Let me look at Sam. Where the heck are you, sir? Same thing, 1 home run in the last 10. Struggle bus as far as total bases. HRR is looking better. Maybe you take him for 2 HRR. He's positive against the changeup and the 4-seam. So I really like Sam for 2 HRR. He's struggling on Sundays, though. Batting average is 196, but maybe he can fix that. But that 300 batting average versus righties is great. Plus even 100, I like it. I think I am going to take this as a straight bet. Colson, because I'm looking at the lefty batters for the spot here. Changeup, he's great. 4-seam, he sucks. He doesn't like batting during the day or on the road. He's 0-4 currently on the month, but he bats great currently on Sundays. He just struggles versus righties. If he was facing off against a lefty, really would push more towards Colson, but at the same time, it's sports, it's the MLB. He could still potentially get 2 to 3 total bases against Griffin, 3 to 4 HRR against Griffin before he comes off the mound. Remember, it's sports, anything can happen. Murakami, he's pretty much every other game. So as I always say, if you believe in the invisible trend since the 29th here, he's in a spot, invisible trend spot to potentially get 2 to 3 total base. I don't believe in the trends stuff. I'm just like, hey, if it's on paper, you're slated to do something. The hope is that you actually do it, because on paper it looks like you should. But again, like I always say, never assume that it should go. You just have to hope that it does. Never sit there and say, oh, he's going to get it. Don't do that to yourself and then be upset when it doesn't happen, because it's a new day, dog. What they did yesterday, they may not do again tomorrow or the next day, or they may do it and you just miss it because you weren't paying attention, or you forgot, like I do. I forget sometimes. I'm like, man, like, how did I forget to put that in for the slip for the bet? Because I do it a lot. Yandy, 50-50, because Anthony struggles to throw his 4-seam, sweeper, and cutter, but Yandy, like, in the midst of him struggling to do anything against the 4-seam and the changeup, he's still been able to produce HRR in the last 5 games. He's averaging 2, right? He had 3 here back to back. He didn't get anything here or here, but he had 2 yesterday. Total base, he had 4 straight total, 2 total bases. So maybe you take him for 2 total bases. It's probably like a plus 105 or something. It's plus value. He's 14 and what, 16, 6, something like that. Literally, look at this. Just in general, yeah, I'm gonna take it because he's on a streak even since last series. I'm probably more than likely gonna maybe do both of them because it's the same game. Plus 322. I like it a lot. So we'll do that. Junior, of course, we know he's finally come off of his, historic run of home runs from basically what was it, back in June, right? So since then he's only hit in the month from last month, he's only hit 4 in total. Again, more recently 1 in the last 5. He has 1 single in the 1 at bat against Anthony, which more than likely was earlier this year or last year, but he's technically the best batter on the board. So I would take him for total base, HRR. If you feel like he'll hit a home run, but maybe late game, plus 296, maybe he does go. But he does bat great against lefties. So that's what I'm saying. His total bases, maybe a single. He'll possibly get a single. But he is a power hitter. That's why he doesn't hit singles that often. So HRR and total bases, my favorite looks for him. I'm just not sure if he actually would go. But if he does go, it'd be late game. I'm just not sure if he would actually hit one against Anthony. But you never know. He's given up 12 against righties. It's up to you. Ryan, did you do anything yesterday? Nope. Back-to-back games, you didn't get a hit. Your own one against Anthony. You're hitting the changeup greatly, but you just struggle against the four seam. I don't know. Like literally his best look is at home because batting average 253 and versus lefties. Maybe he will get a couple of total bases in HRR. His total bases plus 190, great value. Maybe he does get 2 total base because the last time he had 4. He had 4 the last time a few days ago. Johnny, you're a plus 870 to go. Great value. You're hitting lefties, but you only have 2 home runs against. You don't like the four seam or the changeup, but you're hitting the sweeper and the cutter, but he doesn't throw it that much. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he does. He's throwing the four seam the most, 26% of the time. Maybe Johnny goes. Maybe Johnny's in the weak spot. Maybe he actually smacks one out the park because he's in the weak spot. Have we gotten any update on lineups yet? It's super early though. Because I know like the first game starts at like 12. Give me a second. I'm trying to see what time this first game. No, I apologize. 1:35. So still plenty of time. I'm just not sure if Chicago's going to cover that run line. Now, they did it back-to-back, but I'm just not sure if they'll actually do it again. Because, like I said, on paper, Rays look like the best. So, off top, Rays, money line. We'll see what happens, though. The under is cashed in every game. Maybe you do take the under as well. Again, maybe. Because one pitcher is giving up unders more than the other pitcher. So, or just in general, it's ending off on the underside by the end of the game. That's that one. This game, like I mentioned, I think it's possible potential delay. No delay. So this game, like I mentioned, one of my main picks, I'm fading the Mets on their team runs first 5. So Robert Stock is pitching today. I think this is his debut. I don't think he has any yeah, this is his debut for the Mets. He's a righty pitcher, and again, on paper, Marlins look like the better team. Like Marlins continue to show up with runs. 3 of the last 5, they've gotten 5 runs or higher. when Alcantara's pitching on the road, they score runs. As you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 times in the last 10 starts, they've scored 4 runs or higher. Now, on the opposite side, the teams that he's faced off against still got some runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams have scored 4 runs or higher by the end of the game. Let's look at the record with Alcantara after the game. So 1, 2, 2 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 4 and 1, 5 and 1, 6 and 1, 7 and 1, 7 and 2, 7 and 3 record in the last 10 on the road when he's pitched. And then Rocker is, again, this is his debut, but when the Mets at home, they are 1, 2, 3, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, 3 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 4, 4 and 5, 4 and 6 record just in general in the last 10 games since the 12th of July. Do they lose again today? Because again, on paper, like I said, Marlins are the better squad. You do have Francisco, Carson, Jared, Bo, AJ, who are positive against righty pitchers, but Sandy specifically, he struggles against lefties. So you look towards Carson, Jared, the other Francisco, Brett, AJ, those lefties potentially hit up Sandy if he does allow anything today. His strikeouts are still up. He has allowed some hits, but not much. But he hasn't allowed that many earned runs that often. It's every other game, but for the most part, he's only allowing, 2, just in general, last 10, last 5, 2. So I could see Marlins winning today, but the question becomes, do they on paper? Obviously off top, I'm also wondering, with Rocker coming in, is he going to give up runs against Marlins, or is the under going to cash? Because the under has cashed all series, 3-0, and it's mostly cashed this year most of the time. Look at that, 7-2 to the under all series this year, 64% since last year. I'm considering taking the under as well, because that's what I was looking at a couple of hours ago. But I do like Marlins on the money line. But the question becomes, can this score still be a low scoring game? Can the Marlins potentially possibly score 6 to 7 runs between the first 5 and the back half of the game? And then do the Mets score anything between the first 5 and the back half of the game? Like I said, I got Mets not getting 3 runs in the first 5. After that, once the bullpen comes in, what's really going to happen? So I know Stowers went 2 days ago. 3 of the last 5, he hit a home run. He hits righties. He's hitting the cutter and the sinker. So if you believe that he'll go, plus 354, but obviously I like his 2 total base, plus 116. HRR is simple. That's probably like a minus 120 or something, 130. Let me just look at this real quick. 128. So if you feel like he'll get if you feel like he'll get the 2 HRR, take it. If you feel like he'll get the 2 total base, it's much better value, plus 116. Head to head on the year, he's cashing most of the time, 4-2. So I think I'm gonna take him on the 2 total base. I like him for the 2 HRR as a safe bet, but the riskier spot is that plus 116. Liam, he too is hitting righty pitchers. That's what I'm saying. Like on paper, Marlins have been getting the runs for you. So if I were you, because I'm always more about team props more than player props, highly recommend that you take them for the simple bet. It's juice, but you'll get a win if they do get 4 runs today, right? And then you bump them up to 5. If you feel like they'll get 6, take them for 6 plus value. I keep saying, always chase that plus money, right? So 105 here. These are the best values here. And then 6 runs plus 155 on BetMGM. That's if they indeed get it. But recency, they're not doing it that much. They're knocking on a door they've gotten 5 at least 3 times. So I'm thinking, can Rocker show up today, strike out the Marlins. That's what I'm saying. Like, potential under is my look. If Rocker comes out here, super fresh pitcher, coming from the AAA, blah, 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 and he, you know what I'm saying, strikes them out first 5, and Marlins only score 4 runs, maybe 3, and the under cashes. That's my best look. So I'm at least going to go with that. That's a plus 100 on Fanatics, minus 108 on FanDuel. So I'm just curious if the Marlins are going to get any runs off of stock. So we'll see. Let me look at auto. Same thing. It's hitting the four seam, hitting the sinker. And that's the thing. I don't even know what stock's pitch mix is. Really don't even know. Okay, sinker and cutter. All right. So since it's sinker and the cutter, let's see. Okay. You're good. What about Edwards? He hits the sinker and the four seam. So he's throwing, she's throwing the cutter 51%. Dude. All right. Yeah, I'm honestly, guys, I'm thinking under. What the heck? Oh. Yeah, I'm thinking under. Let me re-grab, that was weird. I don't know why that, let's look at Hernandez. I know that, like, Hernandez was hitting more recently. He's hitting a sinker, positive. So we'll see. We'll see. But I like Marlins money line and the under as the best bet for this game. Let me cue that up. And I'll cue up Toronto because I kind of think Toronto will win. I'm just not sure if this under is going to hit or not. Maybe the over. That's what I got so far. Like I mentioned, full game. I took the full game under. That's one of my main picks for that one. Arizona and Cleveland. This game may get postponed, right? Or delay. 70% rain. But if I had to break the game down, heck are y'all? There we go. If the game were to play, obviously off top because of the weather, the under is more of a prevalent look. The books believe it's going to go over, though. I'm just basing off the weather affecting the pitchers, you know what I'm saying, throwing the ball, throwing the pitches and stuff like that, per pitch mix, and, you know what I mean, all of that. But there's, again, delays and stuff. I'm kind of thinking, again, Gavin is pitching. That's the other thing we got to consider, too. When Gavin pitches, he at least allows 2 earned runs for the most part. No head-to-head against Arizona. Well, actually, no. He didn't allow any earned runs last time he pitched against them. The question becomes, now they won that game 3-1. So if that's the case, could this once again flip or roll over, to today? Now you, Kelly, haven't allowed that many earned runs either. Same thing when y'all face off against them. When you played against the Rangers, they scored 5 runs and the under hit. So maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe potential under as far as like rain. It is 7.5. Gavin's strikeouts are 8. Sheesh, your boy has been on it. Why the hell did I not notice this until now? Because I'm telling you, I would have taken him for at least 10 on the 28th. Look at that. 10. Well, excuse me. Apologies. 10 is plus 480. 11. If he let's say he does get 11 again, is a plus 900. But Arizona doesn't strike out that often. He had 5 here. Let's look at Kelly when he's pretending to strikeouts. He had 8 here. 3 and 5 to getting 6. This is the simplest thing that you can take. Let me cue that up. I might take him on his 4. Bumping him up to 5 is a plus 180. Great value. It's 8-8. His ERA is... What the heck is your boy's ERA? All right, so Williams has a better ERA, 3.71. Kelly is a 4.86. So off top automatically, you're thinking Guardians win because of the ERA or even just the first 5. Maybe you take the... If it goes the route that I'm thinking. Look at that, super juice. That's what I'm saying. I really felt like Guardians money line because of the ERA. It's super juiced, but I don't know if they would say cover a minus 125 at home. Again, Gavin's pitching when he does. First 5 at home. They're not covering that much in the last 5. 50% in the last 10. Kelly on the road, same thing, but he had back-to-back covers against San Diego in the pit. Yo, what's going on, Yannick? How are you? Hope you're doing well today. Welcome to the stream. Thanks to everybody, all 9 of you watching. Appreciate it. Try your best if you feel comfortable. If you're liking what you're seeing, subscribe to the channel. I try to stream as much as possible. That's what I try to do. But again, I'm a working man. I start my day at 4 a.m. most of the day. By the time I get home at 3:30ish, it just depends on where I'm at mentally. But as always, at the same time, I'm like, yo, I need to get on. You know, I need to get on stream. I need to give the family, you know, my thoughts, my feelings, my yearning for wins, right? My yearnings for these reads to cash, right? The hope is that they do. Let's see. Again, if this game plays, I'm thinking full game under. Maybe Guardians winning. Maybe Guardians first 5 money line. I just don't know if they'll actually, because per the data, per what the pitchers are doing, first 5 under would even be the play for me. It's juiced at minus 135. 6 straight unders for you. 2-0 from last month. Gavin at home, 4 straight, 3-0 to the under. Yeah, let me cue that up. Now, the question becomes, could it potentially go under? You know, could it potentially hit 4? It's a minus 110. That's the best value. So if you feel like the 4 would hit, if it would say go 3 runs, maybe less, take that. If you're feeling real froggy and you want to go, actually no, here it goes. Positive value for here. If you say it will go under 4 runs, say 3 or 2, plus 125, plus 124, plus 120, plus 115. But I like the under 4.5, first 5. Full game, under for me. Those are my picks. The question becomes, is Kyle going to show up? Travis, Rocchio. I know Reese hit a home run yesterday. He's 1-7 against Kelly. Gabriel, he's 0-3 against Kelly, but he hits righty pitchers. He's hitting the slider at least. Let me look at Jose, because again, we know Jose's finally came back. Now he's been cold the past 2 games, but when he came back, he showed up a little bit just in general in the last 5. Head to head though, he's at least getting a hit, but in the series he's 0-1. 0-3 against Kelly. He hits better against lefties though. So it's up to y'all if y'all want to look his way. Let me look at Travis real quick. He had 3 total bases yesterday, 2 hits, a single, minus 103 for a single today, 3 HRR yesterday, minus 116 for 2. The books believe he's going to go under today. He hits righties. He's hitting the changeup and the four seam outside of the batting average versus the changeup. So really, guys, Travis, I would look towards him for his HRR and total base. Kyle, 1 hit against him, which is a single, and 3 at-bats. He has a 3.33 batting average. There goes that number. I see it every day. He doesn't like the changeup at all, and he's struggling a little bit against the four seam, and he doesn't like the cutter. But 2 and 3 in the month. But that's just 3 at-bats currently. He sucks on Mondays currently, and like I said, he doesn't like righties. And technically he doesn't like either pitching arm, but he's batting a little bit better versus lefty pitchers. Look at Brand. Same thing, 2 and 3. 2 singles. He's hitting the changeup, 4-seam, and a cutter, so he's another batter that I would look towards. Total base and HRR. Yeah. Him and, like I said, him. So Rocchio, minus 110. And who the heck was Travis? Possible HRR. Can't forget about Chase. He had 4 total bases, 1 hit, which was a home run. That was all that he did yesterday. 4 HRR yesterday. He bats much better against lefties. Doesn't like to change up. Struggling a little bit against the 4-seam. He's batting great during the day and at home. On Sundays, he's batting really great on Sundays. He bats much better against lefties. So maybe he still gets something. So I'm just not, like, honestly, like, I'm thinking Astros may not get that much runs today. That's what I'm thinking. Never forget about this legend right here. Gabriel, for the most part, as you see here in the last 10, he will show up. Now the back half of the last 10, or excuse me, the front end, here he's been struggling. He has no data against Gavin. He hits righty pitchers. He's hitting the sweeper, sinker, and the 4-seam. So if I were you, I would look towards Gabriel for the 2 total base, 2 HRR, plus value more than likely, because he might be able to get something against Gavin. He's hitting great at home, great on the road, during the day. No hits currently in the month. Great on Sundays, another 3.33, and versus righties. You just need to know where he's pitching at, or excuse me, where he's batting at. Literally, this dude has been, like, one of the reasons why Arizona has been doing something is because of Marino. This is if James even plays today. He has no data, but he's super green. Arenado, maybe. He went yesterday. I would look towards him for maybe a single again. Oh, we got an update. Tampa Bay and Chicago, the only game currently on the board that has confirmed lineups. Give me a second. Let me see here. Okay. 3 and 3 for both as far as pitching weak spot. Like I mentioned, Sam is a look. Coulson might show up. So who is that? All right, Murakami's batting in the 2-hole. He's in the best spot for the team to potentially hit a home run. He has the 2nd most home runs just in general per the batting order. For Anthony's spot, as far as his weak spots, his best batter to target is Ben, but he only has 2 home runs batting here in the 7th hole. But Ryan bats the best as far as in the spot with a 964 OPS. Oops, I didn't mean to click on. So maybe you take Ryan for total base and HR, because he might actually get. That's right. I forgot I did. I'm a target his total base probably. But that's that. So those are the confirmed lineups. Sam and Yandy are opening for their squads. If you feel like both of them would do something, maybe you put them down on a parlay for 2 total base or 2 HRR. If you feel like they'll hit a home run, you can parlay that too. But y'all know me, I rarely take home runs because that is not my field of expertise. Mine's is literally all of this stuff. It's really not even the player prop stuff, like, because the players will literally, a lot of times y'all see my parlays, they hardly cash as far as the player props because You know what I'm saying? It's just that day. I picked the player that has been on a streak or whatever, and it's just that it just rarely doesn't go. Again, more recently, the team props haven't gone. It's pretty much the same thing. Spot, streak, blah blah blah. But I'm more so targeting what the pitchers are who are pitching and stuff, and that's really been a bit more beneficial. So what was I? Oh, Guardians. Yeah, under and first 5 under. Next up. Talk about you. Talked about the Astros, right? Could have sworn I talked about the Astros. Maybe I did. No, I did. I was looking at this game because Lambert or Rocker are pitching, right? So Rocker's 0-2 against Houston. Rocker's 0-2. Yeah, 0-2 against Houston. Lambert is 1-1. So he's 2-0, getting 6 Ks or higher against the Rangers. So he has their number. They're giving him 6 off automatically off top. So obviously you would look for 5. Super juiced. So you wouldn't take that unless you parlay it. So the best bet is DraftKings minus 119, 120 for the FanDuel. Let's look at him at home. Now, he's not producing that much at home, though. '15th ranked. Like it's a 55th. But honestly, I'm basing it off of the head-to-head because he's at least getting 6 against the Rangers. What about the earned runs? He allowed. Oh, let me fix that. There we go. So 1-1. So when he pitched against them the last time, that was on the road, right? And they won 9-3. This game they lost 8-0. And that game was at home. But he still had 6 strikeouts. But he allowed 5 runs. So Ks are the best look for him. Oh, man. Back-to-back 18 this year for the outs. Man. Any walks? They're saying it's 2. So if you take it for the 3 plus 1, if you have Fliff, I have Fliff, but I hardly ever use it. I'm thinking about it. I like the strikeouts, at least the strikeouts. He's 1-1 against them as far as whether who wins or loses. Currently, books believe Houston's going to win. They've covered 3 of the last 5. Same thing, 3 in the last 5 for the Rangers. Now, the Rangers themselves on the road, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games they've scored 4 runs or higher. Houston at home, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight, 4 runs or higher, technically 5 or higher. Are they giving them 5 runs or are they giving them 6? It's 5. It's plus value, right? Plus 100. Head to head, they usually normally do it. So I like the runs, but again, they're facing off against Rocker, who, same thing, 2-0 head to head. 4 in the last 5. A little bit of small little spots, but he has allowed earned runs every time against them. So this is a potential spot where I would say take Rocker on the earned runs as plus values of plus 110. Chase that money because he keeps giving up more than 3 runs. If you feel like he would allow 4 against Houston, take it as plus 2. There's a 190 on Fliff. I might do that as well because I have Fliff. I'm thinking about using at least something on Fliff, and it might be this. But I'm going to queue up the 3 runs for Rocker. And I'm going to queue up Houston's runs at 5. Really honestly thinking that they can get it. They're giving them 4 runs. 133. They're every other game since the 10th of getting 4. On the road, not more recently. It was last year they were producing. So this year they're more so going under. Man, because I've been talking about, like, I've been really enjoying betting on the Rangers. The under has cashed. Lambert at home, same thing. The under is cashed. I'm gonna say, let me look at this. Let me look at this history real quick. See, the over cashed 5 straight games, but today might be the day where it goes under. I forgot to mention too, because I looked this up before the stream. 55 to 65% hit rate on Sundays. The under has cashed just in general. So I looked that up. It was 55 to 65% hit rate to the under, especially during the day games. So this is a day game. So maybe this goes under. Again, range, the over is hit for the Astros most of the time, back to back. So maybe this goes under because of the pitching matchup. I would look towards the first 5 under. But again, we're also talking about Rocker, who possibly may give up more than 4 runs in the first 5. Possible. Because you see here, he's given up 4 straight. More specifically, 3 and 2 in the last 5. 60% hit rate. 3, 5, 2 games. But again, I think Rocker will give up 3 runs in the first 5. Like I said, I'm going to take Houston on the, as far as the props go. Because I was considering maybe Christian Walker today. I just don't know if he would actually go. It's just that he's 0-5 against Kumar. That's my only real true concern. He's hitting the sinker and the slider, because this is what I looked at hours ago at like 5 in the morning. But Jordan on paper is like the best batter for Houston. 3-4 record against Rocker. He's hitting everything that you can see under the sun as far as the pitch mix is concerned. Green at home, like super green at home, green at during the day. 1 hit in the month currently. He just struggles currently on Sundays, and he's hitting righties. So I just personally, just honestly, I wanted to look towards Jacques, but he only has 4 hits. 2 of those hits was a home run. The other one was a 2-bagger. He has a 250 batting average against Peter, but I'm kind of wondering, is he going to be able to show up today specifically? He's hitting the 4-seam and the cutter at least. He doesn't like the changeup. He's hitting on the road mightily, but he struggles during the day. He doesn't like Sundays currently, and he bats really well against righties. So I'm just hoping that Jacques will produce something for his team, whether Peter is on the mound or not. That's my concern for him. Wyatt, another batter, he's green. He has 1 single against him. Nothing as far as slugging wise. He hasn't struck out though in those 3 at-bats, so that's a good sign. He's hitting the sinker and the slider. He doesn't like the 4-seam. Again, we know he went yesterday. The question becomes, does he go back to back? Is he a potential batter? Because again, we know that Junior was the one that showed up late June. I can't remember if any of you who are watching, if you can find that out, because I don't remember hearing too much, because we know that some batters late July just weren't doing hardly anything. No home runs, no total base, no HRR or anything like that. They were sometimey, but it was more so a lot of the randoms were hitting home runs or going yard. But if anybody can find me a couple of batters that were actually hitting home runs throughout the month of July. If you can look that up for me and post that, leave a comment in the comments, that would be great. Because like I said, Junior was that guy at the end of July. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, excuse me, June. So I don't think, can't remember. I don't think any real batters were really doing close to what Junior was doing at the end of July or the middle of July. Oh yeah, I can't forget about Pena. He has 2 singles. He's showing up. So Pena's a look for total base, plus 122, minus 110. The books believe he's going to at least get that. Maybe he gets 3, plus 154. So if you feel like you get 3 because he's done it 4 of the last 5, and just in general, he's just been cashing on that. He's averaging 4. Maybe he does show up against Rocker. He too, one of the best batters on the board. Sinker and the cutter he's hitting. He's struggling against the slider. He's hitting mightily at home during the day. 2 hits in the month. He struggles on Sundays though currently, and bats great on versus righties. But all in all, I'm thinking full game, under first 5, under. Yankees, Cubs. I did not look at this game prior to the stream. Cole is on the mound. Collins on the mound. Now remember yesterday, I forgot what game it was. I literally forgot what game it was per my notes. Was it this one? Was it this same game? I think it was the same game. So back-to-back days, the over-under is 6.5. And I did mention that I felt like yesterday the over was going to hit, and it did. It landed on 7, 6.5. So if you took the 6.5 on, say, like I think it was like DraftKings or something like that, that at least, like, that sportsbook will honor your pick. I know a couple of others will just like void your pick if it land, like FanDuel, I think, too, and maybe Caesars. Like, I don't know about Fanatics, but I think DraftKings for sure, they'll just be like, oh, you know, it landed on the 7, you're good. You know what I mean? You're not getting your money back, you're actually getting paid. So it hit 7 yesterday, 6.5 today. Cole is slated to pitch. The under's cash for him most of the time when he's pitched on the road. Colin, when he's pitched though, 4-1 in the last 5 to the over. 70% hit rate to the over when he's pitched at home. So there's potential spot possibly for a spot to, you know, maybe do something. Now they did score 5 runs yesterday. Garrett, when he pitches on the road, he's only allowed 2 teams to get 4 runs or higher, 3 teams to get 3, and then everybody else 2 for the most part. So well, actually, apologies, that's the end of the game. Let me break down the actual first 5. Yeah, that's the end of the game. When he's pitched just in general, sort of kind of similar. He allowed 4 against Boston, 5 against Detroit, everybody else 2, and then shut down the White Sox a couple of days ago, and then shut down KC back in May. Rhea, when he's pitching at home, only 3 teams, 4 runs back to back here. Houston with 3, everybody else 2 or less. But Chicago, for the most part, prior to the 17th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, 6 games, 4 runs, 7 games, 3 runs. Can they get to Colin today? Any head-to-head matchup? Any head-to-head? Last year, 4 one time. Any head-to-head? Nope. So this is their first time facing off against each other as far as the pitchers. Maybe a bounce back on the over. Again, maybe. Reyes ERA is 4.68. Collins is 3.57. So excuse me, Cole. Apologies. Cole is 3.57. So on paper, you would possibly consider maybe Yankees first 5 money line. Yep. But I'm concerned about the potential possible. Now the books believe that it's gonna go under 6. Apologies, under 4. So the best value is 3.5, because the plus value is plus 10 or plus 100. Plus 100. So this is a tough little spot. 70% hit rate for the Yankees to the under, 60% for y'all. Cole, when he's pitching on the road, the last 5 or last 10, excuse me, 3-2 to the under, 2-0 from last month. Colin, he went over most of the time. I don't know. Head to head, 2-0 this year to the under. So maybe under. Let me cue that up. Maybe. Because again, we know Yankees don't, they're still not themselves. I mentioned this, 2 streams ago? Like, Judge is their best batter. When he's out there, they usually sometimes produce more runs because he is their motivation, I guess. For the Cubs, they're back at home, and we know that they, for the most part, just in general, they usually score some runs, but the last 10 they haven't. Oh, excuse me, I apologize, I was on the wrong thing. There we go. So yeah, they usually score runs, right? That was the Yankees at home. So when Colin is pitching, they're still scoring runs by the end of the game. So they're probably giving Chicago 5 runs. No, they're giving them 3 runs. Let me cue that up, because I like that. That is the simplest pick that you could possibly cash on today. 3 runs. Look at them at home. Okay, 3-2 in the last 5. Now, versus righty pitchers, though, that's why they're giving them 3 runs. So all month, 1, 2, so 4 and 5 to getting, and that's the thing. Usually when they're getting the runs, they're getting 6 or higher. So it's plus value for 6 today. If you believe that they'll get more than the 3, take the plus value, do the ladder 4, 5, and 6. Maybe they'll get it today. I might just do that. I might just ladder Chicago's runs today. Let me queue up well, I already did. I'm probably gonna ladder Chicago's, and I'll post it here. I'm probably gonna ladder. That'll be a free play. I'm probably gonna ladder Chicago's runs up. I really, honestly, again, it's on paper. I'm thinking Chicago can score, because again, they scored 5 yesterday. Again, potential spot for where they only score 3. They only get the 3. They don't do 4 and 5. But I'm thinking taking a chance on them potentially getting the 5 runs or 6 runs today, because I like it a lot. PCA is the best batter on the board, Ben Rice. So off top, maybe you parlay PCA and Ben for a home run. Look at you have no data. Here goes my favorite number, 46. His home run is a plus 461. PCA is a plus 520. He's 0-2 against Garrett. Let me look at Ben here. What is Ben doing at home? Excuse me, on the road, excuse me. Okay. When it's pushing in, that does. Remember I talked about this. This doesn't matter to me. Batters still hit home runs when the wind's pushing in. I'm just being honest. Now, it might affect this game because we know, Wrigley, the field and everything. But I'm personally believing there could be 2 to 3 home runs in total, and I personally believe it could be PCA and Ben hitting, but at the same time, it may not be them. It may be one of the other cats. Let's see, 254, Seiya. Like, I know Seiya kind of calmed down more recently. He was cashing on his HRR. So yeah, like back here, he was cashing. So he finally got 2 HRR yesterday. He only has 1 hit against Garrett. So again, as you're seeing per the data, potential possible first 5 under, potential possible, yeah, like I said, the 4. So potential possible under on the full game. But it's super low though. Like, it's 6.5. I'm like, I know that we know that they scored 2 runs in total 2 games ago. And then they at least Chicago bounced back, and then Yankees only scored back to back with 2. I really don't trust Paul. Really don't. He bats much better against lefties, and he just still hasn't done anything against lefty pitchers. So I just do not trust your boy. He's batting great on Sundays, but I really honestly I would rather fade Paul on his 2 HRR. And I really should have looked his way yesterday. Minus 140. That's literally back-to-back cashes, because he literally, look at that. That sucks that it's super juice for him to go under 2 total base. But he's gone 3 straight unders, under 4 of the last 5. I'm honestly thinking under. I'm probably going to do that. That's going to be a nice possible potential win. Possible. Again, he could still possibly potentially get the 2 HRR today, because again, it's Sundays, and Sundays are weird. And everything, again, like I keep saying, guys, I'll keep saying it till I'm blue in the face, last breath, all of that. Everything that I've mentioned, everything that I talked about, player prop rise, everything that I talked about, team total, team prop wise, any and all this stuff is just potential data for a potential edge, potential win. None of what I'm saying will will automatically go the way that I'm thinking, the way that I'm feeling it to go. And on top of that, I'm saying, like yesterday, technically on paper, all of my reads were a positive, where I want to say I went in total like 11 or 12 and 7. That's what I know for sure. I had the 7. There were 7 losses here, but I know for sure it was like plus 10 wins. You know what I'm saying? So I personally, from what I pushed out, I only had 2 wins out of the 5 picks that I pushed out, only got 2 wins yesterday. The hope is that I bounce back and say, because I have 4 picks in total, I'm probably going to take 2 of these here, or maybe just 1, and then maybe 1 to 2 here, and it'll be 6 in total, right? So that's what I'm saying. When I talk about my reads, like all of this stuff, I'm probably not going to take. I'm probably going to take 1 or 2 things that I really like. It's literally might just be Goldsmith, because his under has been cashing on his HRR, and literally I am really thinking about taking Rocker for his earned runs, and Chicago on their earned runs to the over. So that literally might be the only 2 that I take. Everything else, I'm probably just going to just sit back and watch and see how things go. So, because again, I used to, like, that's the thing, I used to take all this stuff, you know what I'm saying, single bet, parlay it, the parlays wouldn't cash, win on a few, lose on everything else, all of that stuff, because of the, it was just certain spots where it just didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go. So, again, Sundays are weird. I just mentioned about roughly 15 minutes ago that the under is hitting at a 55 to 65% hit rate on Sundays in total. Does that happen today for all of the games? That's up to what the teams are going to do or not do. Look at this. I have 3 unders currently. That may not even go the way that I'm thinking. Like the overs may cash for these 3 and everything else may still go under. You know what I'm saying? So just hope that your reads are gonna possibly hit. So that's that. I honestly, everything else, I really can't find anything else. So I mentioned the potential under yesterday. It went way over at 18 runs for the Royals and Rockies. The Royals did score 6 runs yesterday, but they got blown out by Colorado. They scored 12. Excuse me. Oh yeah. Congratulations to the Dodgers on getting Scooble yesterday. Forgot I woke up and seen that notification on my phone. I was like, yo, son. Detroit, and honestly, my gut was thinking like, yo, like Detroit may send him packing somewhere. And I did not see the Dodgers getting scooped. So that's a potential plus for them. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. Because again, now Scooble's in a potential spot to potentially get a ring this year, or just moving forward. If say Dodgers weren't to win this year, but maybe win the following season, continue their illustrious World Series little streak that they're on. Freeland's pitching today, and he sucks. Well, that's because of the bullpen. Can't really say that he specifically sucks. Dude, they're giving him 4 strikeouts. So 5, is it 5 plus value? No head-to-head. They don't strike out often. They're walking a lot, though, versus lefties. Lugo. Yo, what's going on, Block? Hope you're doing well today. Nice. See, me, I can't jog because I used to jog, but I've been thinking about at least doing like roughly 45-minute hour walks 3 times a week. Because I used to, like I said, I used to jog early in the morning at like 3:30 in the morning before I went to work. This was like 6-7 years ago. But haven't done it in a while. But I do need to get out because I have a little mini gut myself, and I need to, you know what I'm saying, I need to get my weight in check because I have high blood pressure. So you know what I'm saying, I gotta watch. That's the other reason why sometimes I'll be saying like I don't be feeling well, because my blood pressure just hasn't been, it just has not been right for the past few years. So I'm trying to maintain it and stuff. Like I'm on meds and stuff, but I'm really trying to get off the meds, to be honest. I really don't want to be on those the medications, but it's what's temporarily helping. But I gotta really try to get it in check if I can. But I know for sure, like I know walking is a definite help, and of course exercising and stuff. So I just gotta get back to it, but eventually I will. Anyway, let's look at this here. Over, oh, excuse me. Wait, that's not what I want to look at. This is what I want to look at. 3-2 to the over in the last 5, but 40%, 60% to the under in the last 10. Kyle, 70% to the under. Nice. That's what's up. Love to hear it. And I mean, health is important, son, especially your mental too. But that's why I haven't done it in a while, but I don't read. I read books, but they're all fictional, like literally all fictional. And I'm a Star Wars fan, so I read a bunch of Star Wars books. But I just bought a new Batman comic book yesterday while I was out when I went to go see the Spider-Man movie. So I gotta get into that hopefully today. So on paper, technically, like, let me look at this here. So on paper, So on paper, Freeland's ERA is super high, 7.34. Lugo's is 4.22. There's possible potential for the overs to still cash today. I'm just wondering if this is gonna. I don't see it getting 18 runs. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe around 10. Well, what I'm saying is like it'll be 12, but it'll be less than 18. Maybe 13. Maybe 12 on the nose. Because I really don't see Colorado scoring 12 runs again. I could see Kansas City getting 4 to 5 runs, maybe potential. But again, at the same time, this might flip, you know. This might flip. Because we know KC scored 16 runs on the 7th last month. And then they scored 8, 6, and 5, 4 here. Royals at home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games where they score 4 runs or higher. Let's see if they're giving the Royals 5 runs. They're giving them 5. Minus 120, 130 for me at least. Kansas City, they're giving them 5 as well. So books are obviously off top, believing that the over is going to cash, believing that Kansas City and the Rockies are going to score. You know what I'm saying? More than 5 runs. If you feel like the over would hit, take it. As far as the on paper stuff, it's looking like KC is possibly, maybe both teams, maybe like a 50-50 split. We're really trying to gauge who's better. Colorado, they have two players super green, one player one player with a great batting average. But this dude who may not even play, his WOBA and slugging is super high. Maybe good. All right. So Rockies may get some runs. Yeah. I would say over. I'm gonna cue it up. Now, does the first 5 over hit? It's 6. 3 and 2 in the last 5. 60% to the under though. Kyle, 3 straight overs. 60% to the over. Honestly, guys, I'm thinking that KC will bounce back and they'll score 6, 7 runs type of thing. The over does cash. They, Rockies Royals win the game. Maybe, possibly. It just depends on what the bullpen, what they're going to throw out there. So I would look at Goodman, Rumfield, Carrick, maybe Troy. And for the Royals, never forget about Salvador, because he went yesterday. Maybe you take him for the total base at least. Maybe the HRR. That would probably be potential great look for y'all. If Tyler plays, he's gone 3 straight total base, 3 straight HRRs. He's batting great against lefties, but better against righties. He does not like Sundays though. Only 1 hit on a Sunday. That's the cheese. You said had more home runs than any other player on a Sunday. Nice. Top second, Manny. Okay. Nice. Yeah, because that's what you call it? Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So I looked this up. Milwaukee and the Angels on Sundays are 31-31 all time. But since 2002, the Brewers are 0-3 against the Angels at home though. But again, this is at home. And then for the Cardinals versus the Blue Jays, they're tied 2-2. But the Cardinals are on the road and they're actually 1-1. So, but the unders cashed there. I forgot I looked that up. So there's that. And the unders have cashed with this Brewers versus A's. The Angels, excuse me. The under is hit most of the time too. So this is on Sundays. Let me look up. So this is it. Most home runs. Let's spell it right. So this season, Wilson Contreras, he has 8. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, top 5 are tied. So maybe you look towards them for at least these top 5 for home runs, or just in general. Maybe you look at all of these cats for homes. Look at Merrill, look at Moniak, Cowser, they're tied at 5. Junior, Baldwin, Schwarber, and Judge are tied at 6. But again, these 3 are pretty much still active. Judge is still out. And then, like I said, these 6 here, 7, you know what I'm saying? So maybe you look towards them for the homes. This is what I used to do when I was considering batters for home runs 2.5 months ago. Some of the batters would go, some of them wouldn't. But, it's just, you're just hopeful that somebody on that list that has been successful on the day will go out there and produce and go yard. That's what your hope is. But sometimes they wouldn't. We're just like, dag, we're hoping that the read was there. So obviously off top, the only thing that I can really find is the over, maybe first 5 over as well. And I just talked about this game. I got Angels under their team runs. So that's that. Detroit Athletics. I did fade the Athletics on their team runs yesterday. They went over. That's another one of my losses. I talked about that during my breakdown here at the bottom here. This is the final read yesterday because they went back-to-back games here. Where is it here? Where they went under 4. They went 5 straight. And I talked about that yesterday. It was towards the end of the stream. I'll once again say it again. Just because the data says that a team has done something does not mean that they're going to do it, right? Even with a player prop. This is a potential edge. They went under most of the last 10. Now, at home, they were doing the same, right? Now, against righties at home, though, they're producing every other game. So again, if you believe in this is a fake, stupid, invisible trend where there's a possibility that they might go over, take them on the over 4.5. It's super juiced at -145. If you believe that they'll get the 5 runs today. Now they're facing off against Monotero. He's 7-6 as far as the season goes, and his 13 games pitched. Let's see here. Let's see. Sorry, give me a second. Monotero. His ERA is a 3.34, just 1 point shy of 3.33, and then jump is a 400. So there's potential. Again, the books believe that the over is going to cash at 11, another high scoring game. It did go yesterday, back-to-back 14, and then Detroit pretty much 5-0 to the over. The Athletics are back-to-back in this series. The question becomes, does this go over again today? 70% to the under, 3-2 in the last 5 for Monotero. About the end of the game. Jump, 3-2 in the last 5, but 57% to the under when he's pitched by the end of the game. But as you see here, the Athletics have scored at least 4 runs most of that span. They did score 5 runs 3 times. Detroit, specifically for them, a little bit of a struggle bus for them. Only 1, 2, 3, 4 games where they got 4, 2, 3 games where they got 5. Do they potentially get 5 runs today on the road. They did get 8 and 13 in this series. Excuse me. 6-6, 13 and 8. So they are producing this year against the Athletics 2-2 to getting 5. All 5 games they get at least 4. Are they giving them 5 runs or 4 runs? They're giving the Athletics 5 runs, push for 6. Detroit 6 runs. So the comfortable spot is 5. The push is 6. -110 is the best value. They've gone 4 straight. Head to head, they normally get 6 or higher. On the road against them, they normally get 6 or higher, 3 and 2. Do you consider first 5 over, full game over? They are pushing for 6 for the over, but the under has cashed 70% when Montero's pitched in the first 5, but jump 3 and 2 to the over, but 57% to the under in the first 5. What do you really do? How do you really read this? What do you really feel is comfortable for you as a pick? Breakdown, both spots. Because on paper, it's looking like it's an even spot for both teams. But again, we know that Athletics just haven't been able to find their groove. But again, if you're talking about the breakdown as far as jump when he's on the mound, his team at home, they've scored a bunch of runs by the end of the game. Like I mentioned, in the full game over at home, they've gone pretty much 3 games with the 5, right? Because that's where they got them at 5. 5 runs, but 4 just in general. So maybe because it's Sunday, maybe today is another day that the Athletics get the 5 runs today. Let me see something real quick. Actually, here we go. This is what I'll do. So Athletics have a losing record against the Tigers, and then at home, no data at home. Fascinating. Guess we'll have to break this down. The last 6 seasons. No data? Strange. What is going on? Why is this? It literally just said it. There we go. So then why isn't it showing what I need it to show? Because again, they have a losing record. There we go. They actually have a winning record at home against Detroit since 1934. So then what about since the last 6 seasons? 1 and 2 though, since 2020. The under has hit 2 of those in 2 of those games. Actually 3 of the games. Because we're talking about, what is that, 10.5? So in so per the data, the under has hit in all 3 games on a Sunday. This was them at home, and they only scored 4 runs in total. Fascinating. But Detroit, they've only scored 13 runs in total. Fascinating. But I don't see that happening today. But again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe the under does cash. But again, I'm thinking about the entirety of the game, the data in front of me, I'm thinking the under does cash. I'm thinking both teams get 4 runs, 5 runs, and it, you know what I'm saying, it goes 13 runs in total. That's what I'm personally thinking. But again, this might happen today because it's consistent. It continues to happen. It continues to show that, you know what I'm saying, the Athletics struggle on the day more than what they've done for, you know what I'm saying, more recent. So let's see. So maybe you do. Maybe you take the under. It's plus value. It's a plus 100 on Fanatics. Maybe you do. Maybe you just go by this and it hits. But on paper, Nick, Soderstrom, Jacob, Jeff, Donovan's the best batter on the board, 314 batting average. Valencia is the best batter on the board. Technically he is, because Max may not even play. But that's, you know, Valencia may not even play. He's the best batter on the board. That's whack. We also got to remember some players may rest today too. I forgot about that, because some catchers, sometimes they rest catchers on Sundays too. Can't forget about that as well. So yeah, everything that I mentioned may not even go the way that it go, because it literally may do this. It may go under, because it's the day that they match up against each other and the under cashes. Maybe Detroit still gets a bunch of runs and the A's go right back to not scoring 5 runs. I might just try again. Maybe the A's do go under. Look, they got them going under 6, minus 140. The push is 5, plus value, plus 120. You said he might send one since the number 2, since the 2 hole. He might go. You never know. Did they update anything? Because again, it's almost 11 o'clock. It's about to be 11 o'clock in 2 minutes. So Pirates, they updated their stuff. They did confirm lineups for Acuna's in the 2 hole. Now, he has 2 hits batting in the 2 hole out of the 11 at bats, and both of them are home runs. He has the best OPS out of the entire team. But as far as production wise, Baldwin is technically, again, we have to look at the amount of times the player has played. Again, he's only been in the 2 hole 11 times. Drake, 112. He has the second best OPS, and then Matt. We're still waiting on lineups for Washington. Let me see what Washington has. There's an 888, but that's if CJ were to bat in the 4th hole. One and 2. He hits righties. Yeah, man. I'm the East Coast, son. You over in Cali. I'm on the East Coast, baby. All right. That's that. So yeah, maybe the under does cash per the data. Maybe it goes that way. Because again, 3 straight under 11. Detroit has their number on a Sunday. I would lean towards Detroit winning. They won both games in the series. But again, like I keep mentioning, it's Sundays. Maybe the Athletics pull a win out of their hat on the back half of the game, and they win. If you feel like the Athletics would win, plus 102, plus 100, maybe they do. Oh, okay. You were born there. Okay, nice. Sacramento. Never been to Sacramento. But I did love those Sacramento Kings squad back in the early 2000s. Mike Bibby, Chris Webber, my homie, the other point guard, Bobby, forgot his name, because I'm an NBA head. I love, like, basketball is my favorite sport. So yeah. San Diego, because I don't think I touched on the Giants game. Now, remember yesterday I talked about it. I posted it in the I talked about San Diego winning the money line. I took that, like I said, took that as a bet, cashed. So the question becomes, is there a bounce back spot potential for the Giants to win today? King is pitching for San Diego. Rope is pitching for the Giants. So he didn't allow anything against San Diego the last time he pitched. King has no data against San Fran. But King has the better ERA, 338. Rope has a 412. But I could still see San Diego pulling a win. Now the over hit. San Diego won 6-5. Both teams scored above 4 runs. Let me look at this and see. They're giving the Giants 4 runs minus 115 on DraftKings, BetMGM, and the ScoreBad app. Those are the best spots. Head to head, they're every other game getting the 4 runs. That's just in general. On the road against them, same thing. Every other game. The question becomes, is King potentially possibly going to shut them down? He had back-to-back Ks of higher than 5. He did allow 4 earned runs against Colorado, though. He only allowed 1 earned run, but this was last year in April. When he pitches at home, this is where he at least gets 4, he's allowing 3 earned runs. Maybe the Giants get some runs today. Maybe the Giants bounce back. Maybe they actually produce something. But let me look at the first 5 here. We did good today. Well, I pretty much ran through every game. Now the over has cashed just for the Giants in general. This is nice. 80%, 100% in the last 5 for them. When San Diego pitches San Diego just in general, 4-1 in the last 5, but 50-50 just in general. At home, though, 80% hit rate at home, but Giants 3-2 in the last 5, 50-50. But when road pitches on the road, 80% to the under. When King pitches at home, 3-2 in the last 5, but 70% to the under. My question becomes, can the Giants get runs off of King, who, again, like I said, per the data, when he's pitching at home, he's been allowing earned runs a lot. 6% in the last 10 games, 6% in the last 5. That's my question at hand. Head to head. Let's see. Look at the head to head. Because again, they're giving you plus value here. Maybe you take the plus value. Maybe 3 straight, just in general in the series, has gone over every time. Why not take this plus value if it's going to possibly potentially cash again? I like the over first 5, so I may take that as an extra bet. But I'm wondering about Rope on the road because he's been more successful on shutting teams down. Okay, only 4 batters with a positive against righty pitchers. 6 batters with a positive versus righties for San Fran. Honestly, guys, I could see San Fran getting 3 runs today in the first 5. It's got to be plus value. It's plus 170. So this is a push. They're 3-2 in the last 5. 6% hit rate versus righty pitchers, though, 2-3. On the road, 1-4 though. But again, like I said, I personally think that they can do it. Now, history-wise, they're actually 3-2 on the season, getting the 3 runs or higher. Again, this is for this year. And this is them on the road versus righty pitchers. And this is great values. Plus 170 on Fanatics for me. I love that. That's potential. Like they could get the 2 runs early, and then there's a bit of a slowdown spot, and then maybe say by the 5th inning they get that 3rd one, and then boom, it's a cash, and maybe still the first 5 over still hits. So I really love the first 5 over. I really love the Giants scoring 3 runs. This is a push. Now technically you could take the easier spot for them to get the 2 runs. It's minus 120. This is much more simpler. As you see here, they're averaging 3 runs in the last 10, 2 in the last 5. Head to head, they normally are dominating the 2 in the head-to-head matchup. And on the year, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3 to getting 2 runs. But again, as you're seeing here, most of the time against San Diego, they're getting higher than the 2. And it's usually much higher than that, and it's 4. So I would potentially ladder both. I would take the 2. This is the easiest spot. So I'll cue that up. And I would also take the 3. And if they get both, congratulations. If you feel like King would give up 3, take it. It's a plus 144 on Caesars. That's the greatest value. Everything else is 120. Let me see if that's still, let me see. Is that still, because I have Caesars. Let me see. Because literally when I see stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, a sportsbook is giving 20, 30 plus extra value versus everything else, I would rather take that versus a minus 120. That you're getting much better of a return back on your slip. Where's San Diego? San Diego, let's go. Hold on, give me a second. Let me look at innings. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Runs. All teams. Huh. It says. Give me a second. I'm trying to find. These runs, blah, blah. Early action. Now, as far as the run line, they have San Diego winning with a minus 105 at a minus 0.5. They have San Diego winning the money line minus 150. Again, this is all on Caesars. I'm just not seeing this prop here. Oh, wait. Apologies. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Where's pitching? There we go. Okay, so King is, here it is. Earned runs allowed on Caesars, plus 144 for 3 runs. You're talking about same, pretty much. That's what I was talking about earlier with San Diego. Where are you? Could have sworn I queued up. Maybe I didn't. I guess I didn't. But I was talking about, real quick sidebar. I was talking about Blue Jays scoring runs because I'm still considering, well, actually, no, I apologize. I did take Blue Jays to score 3 runs. I got it at a plus 110 on Fanatics. So as you see, looks like people have been pouring money towards there. But I still also like Libertar to give up 3 runs. So actually it dipped down. It was a plus 108 like an hour ago when I was talking about it. So it dipped down on Drax. It was same sportsbook. It was plus 108 on Drax. So it dipped down because as you see, he's doing all of this. So pretty much it's the same thing. So I really do like him giving up 3 runs today before he comes off the mound against the Blue Jays. And I do like Blue Jays winning. So what I'm going to do, sidebar, I'm putting this in. I'm going to take Michael King to give up 3 runs I took it. It's in. It's right here. I put my little joint. Your boy. I put it in. Maybe he does. I do like Springer for today. I do. I do like Springer. I like him for 2 total base and HRR. He might do because again he bats well enough against lefties. He's hitting the 4-seam. He's hitting the Woba for the 4-seam. He's getting weighted on base. You know what I'm saying? Getting runs in and stuff like that. Versus the 4-seam, he's hitting the curveball and the changeup. So I feel like he could potentially get at least 2 HRR today. At least 2. And he hits versus lefties and he's batting well in the 4th hole. So his is a modest 110. So yeah, I love Springer there. Last up, final game of the end. I'm glad I was, because a lot of times I haven't been able to get through the whole entire slate, but today I was able to do it. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Last game, night game. On paper, as always, the Dodgers are the favorite, right? Boston beat them yesterday. They beat them the day before. Indeed, you're correct. So they are 2-0 against the Dodgers. The over hit in the first game, the under hit yesterday. Maybe the over cashes at a 2-1 today, but maybe the Dodgers win today. Maybe. They're throwing Sheehan out there 4-1, 4-7 record, while Boston's throwing Bennett out there 6-4 record. And Bennett has a much better ERA, 274, while Sheehan is a 495, just shy of 500. So when Bennett pitches by the end of the game, the under has cashed 4 straight, 4-1 to the under, while when Sheehan pitches, 2-3 to the over, but 50-50. But at the same time, just in general, 5-2 in the last 7 games, the under has cashed. But again, it's 50-50 in total. Head to head, the under has cashed most of the time, but again, it's 1-1 this year. What's that first 5 looking like? So the books believe currently the first 5 is going to cash, minus 105 on Caesars. Bennett, when he's pitched, just in general, 4-2 in the last 6, 3-2 in the last 5. Am I looking at that right? Yeah. And then when Sheehan's pitched 3-2 in the last 5, 50-50 just in general in the last 10, 4-2 in the last 6 games though. When he's pitched at home, 3-2 in the last 5, but 50-50 just in general. When Bennett is pitched on the road, 2-3 to the over in the last 5, but 2-1 to the over last month. So, like I said, what do you really gauge with this game? This one went 1-1 for him last month in his starts. I could see a potential bounce back to the over. It's 8.5, because we know usually they're giving Dodgers games like 9.5, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But I could potentially see a possible over spot here cashing today, but we'll see. Again, on paper, because the Dodgers have figured out, the Red Sox figured out a way to beat Dodgers back-to-back games. I really don't see them sweeping, but again, still potentially possibly happen. That could be the potential case. But again, on paper, Dodgers are still the best batters on the board, right? Of course, Freeman is one of the best batters on the board as well. But technically, per the batting average itself, Miguel is the best batter on the board. Let's see. Yeah, Rafala went 3 home runs in back-to-back games in total, 2 home runs yesterday. This dude showed up. 4 straight 3 total bases or higher. 4 straight 2 HRR or higher. 5-1 in the last 5. Excuse me, 4-1 in the last 5. He's 2-0 in the series. Look at that, killing them in the series. I just don't know if he'll actually get, say, 3 or higher today. He bats much better against lefties, though. But he's 0-2 against Sheehan. You don't have any data against Bennett. I'm just wondering if, like, let's see. You're not getting struck. Oh, there we go. So I'm like, hold on, dog. Now, you were getting strikeouts back here. I didn't see that. That's at home. Then Bennett. They're believing he's going to get... There we go. They're believing he's going to get 4 strikeouts. 5-0 to getting 4 strikeouts. But the Dodgers don't strike out that much. They're believing he's going to get 6. And Boston does strike out. In fact, he was 1 off from the last time he faced off against them last year. It's just that he has not done so well. This is him at home. This is him just in general. Okay, back-to-back 3. On the road, 3-2. I'm just curious. I could see Dodgers getting 2 or 3 runs against Bennett, but Bennett might shut him down, though. Bennett might. Is Hernandez going to play today? He doesn't like the 4-seamer to change up. He hit a home run yesterday. What about Max? No data. He's been struggling a little bit. He's been struggling. Man, if I had known, I would have faded you on your HRR, sir. About Kyle. Nothing. Now, you hit lefties. You just don't like the sinker. Dude, he's throwing it 46% of the time. Ain't that some cheese? Okay. I don't know. I could, honestly, guys, I could still potentially see a over, but if the under were to cash again, it is what it is, because again, it's Sunday. It's just I'm wondering, like, are they, or either pitcher's going to give up anything in the spot that they're in? Like, Bennett's killing cats outside of Tampa Bay. He went 3-0 last month. And Sheehan at home, he only allowed 3 teams to get 3 runs or higher all his time pitching. But and at the same time, the Dodgers didn't even score that many runs during the back half of, or excuse me, the front half of his last 10 either. So the under was cashing there. At least like their team runs and stuff. Do I take a chance on Bennett shutting down the Dodgers from getting 3 runs? They've been cashing. It's just, like I said, Bennett has been a beast at not allowing teams to score runs against him. I'm just wondering. And then Boston. I don't know if Sheehan would shut them down, though. They pretty much been getting 2 runs. Same thing on the road, 3 straight. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, you could technically like fade Dodgers, team runs under, Boston team runs over the 2, and they still do get it. But I just don't know if they would. He's covered the run line here. You have not. Man. This one's a little bit of a tricky spot. So there's a plethora of things you could do. You could do Boston run line. You could do taking a chance on Dodgers not getting 3 runs. Taking a chance on the Red Sox getting 2 runs in the first 5. We're talking about first 5 here. You could still potentially take a chance on the over. The books believe that it's a slight lean to the over. But again, the first 5 under might be a cash. I'm saying might. Now you could take the juiced 6. Because that's hit for him on the road. And that's hit 3 of the last 5 for him. 6% hit rate in the last 10. But if you feel like you want to get a little bit of extra oomph, 5. And then you could take the chance on the 4. Because the books currently believe that let's see. It's like Caesars believes the 5 is going to cash. But FanDuel and everybody else believes that the under is going to cash. So I'm just kind of giving you what you could potentially get here. If you feel like Contreras would hit a home run, take him, plus 352. If you feel like any of the Dodgers like Max or Ohtani or something like that will go, take them, right? It's just that he's only given up 5 home runs against righties. And you can look towards Andy, Roja if he plays, Teoscar, Mookie if he plays, the other Hernandez if he plays, and maybe Tommy. He struggles against lefty batters. So you have Duran, Abreu. So Abreu, I mentioned before, Abreu bats much better against lefties. He has no hits against Emmett here, but he might potentially show up today. Get 2 to 3 HRR today. His HRR is plus 113 just for 2. That's great value there. And then total base plus 148. That's great value there. But the question becomes, can he show up? He's only done it 1 time. He hasn't done anything this year. He's 0-2 against the Dodgers this year, and he didn't do anything against them. So you got to look at that data as well. But, you know, he might, again, potentially might show up. If you feel like he won't do it, fade him on the under on the HR on the total base. So that's all that I have. We did great for, I guess Sundays would be a better, every other Sunday would be a better bet because I was able to run through everything today. I love a lot of stuff, but don't want to take everything. I used to. It was hurting my bankroll like a mug, but like I said, some stuff was cashing, but most wasn't. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I always say, take your single bets more seriously. You can parlay stuff, but only do 4 legs and under. Round robin most of your parlays, but single bet most of everything that you believe will go out here and potentially, possibly win you some money. But again, you would still potentially, possibly even lower your bankroll put out so that you're not losing so much. Because I see a lot of people always putting out 30, 40 bucks on a parlay, losing most of that and winning some of it back on their single bets, but they're betting low on their single bets. It's like you kind of want to make whatever adjustment that you may need to make so that you're, you know what I'm saying, you're not hurting your bankroll so much to where then you're like, oh, I can't even bet right now. And as I always say, so, you know, you don't have to bet every day. I'm choosing to bet every day because that's what I'm choosing to do. But I know for sure for me, I don't have to bet every day either. But you don't have to bet every day. And as I always say, start building a savings bankroll for whatever sports that you really love betting on, whether it's baseball, football. I know that's the top spot that everybody loves to bet on. I'm not big on football. That's me personally. I'm more basketball and MLB myself, and a little bit of tennis. But start your savings today for next year's MLB. You have plenty of more months till April, and March gets here next year in 2027, so that you will have a bankroll in your hand that you can use specifically for the MLB, and you won't have to touch anything out of your checks or your funds that you say, whatever that, because you have that bankroll that you build upon starting August 2nd of 2026. Start today, build that up, and then by April or March of next year, you'll have the bankroll and you can just work with that. So, but y'all have a great Sunday. Let's hope for the best for today. Let's hope that some of these cash, maybe we sweep the board. Maybe with whatever I put out, whatever you put out. That's the hope. And I will be back at work tomorrow, bright and early, 5 a.m., ready to get started with my day. But we have a little bit of a shorter slate tomorrow. 2, 4, 6, 8 games. Not much. So it's going to pick up back on Tuesday. But if anything opens up early, I'll try to look at something, probably try to put a video out here on the channel for my 2 plays, as I always do, just 2 plays, 2 team props for tomorrow. I'll look at tomorrow in a few hours if anything opens up, and I will do my video probably around 6 or 7, maybe 8 o'clock today before I go to bed. But I'm out. Y'all stay safe, stay humble, take care of yourselves, so that you can eventually, if you feel like it, take care of your family, friends, and loved ones. And I will hopefully, possibly talk to you all maybe tomorrow or sometime this week.